Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Oh my God.
The baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson.
Him fighting the 2-minute round. What I had to do was start him off with 3-minute rounds first.
It's just a show. It's like people paying their tickets and paying pay-per-view to watch Royal Rumble.
With just hours left until the gloves go on, the boxing world is split. Can Jake Paul shock the world against a legend, or will Mike Tyson's power and experience leave him in the dust?
Hardest hitting puncher that I ever saw.
Mike Tyson still has some need, and he definitely has some power.
We've gathered the boldest last-minute predictions from fighters, trainers, and boxing legends. Who's backing Tyson's ferocity? Who's betting on Jake's youth and hunger? Let's dive into the final calls.
Jake Paul is going to lose.
I think he might be making a mistake.
The worst decision of his career.
As the boxing world anticipates the Tyson versus Jake Paul showdown, fighters and fans are picking sides. Jake Paul's former opponent, Mike Perry, shared his take on Tyson's sharpness in recent training, comparing the legendary fighter's return to other veteran boxers who didn't fare as well in the ring.
I think, so I've seen some things that Mike Tyson has been saying on video, and he seems really sharp mentally. Seems like Mike Tyson is just, he hasn't skipped a beat and getting back in the ring and fighting. I always think about the Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort. Now, we saw what happened there. Vitor just destroyed.
Perry's concern draws on the stark reality of Holyfield's comeback, where his age showed, making him vulnerable. But Tyson, he suggests, seems to be defying age, staying crisp in his movements and attitude.
The 16 days to the fight.
However, Perry is still curious about the unique conditions Jake and Tyson agreed upon, especially Jake's confidence-driven $5 million wager.
Mike Tyson looks really good on the mitts, and they're only doing 2-minute rounds, which is interesting. And Jake said something about $5 million if Mike can last 5 rounds with him, or he gets an I Love Jake Paul tattoo. I thought that was interesting, and I hadn't heard a rebuttal from Mike Tyson, so I don't know about that bet.
Perry's insight leaves fans wondering, will Tyson prove he's still got it, or is Jake banking on his youth and Tyson's age finally catching up? As the bell inches closer, this prediction adds yet another layer of suspense to a fight already loaded with stakes.
Don't charge at me, Tyson. Drink Celsius.
As the fight approaches, concerns are mounting over Jake Paul's decision to enter the ring heavier than usual. MMA coach Tim Welch highlighted the risks tied to Jake's weight and the 14-ounce gloves both fighters will be using, questioning how well Jake will handle the added bulk and glove weight against a seasoned powerhouse like Mike Tyson.
14-ounce gloves. I mean, Jake weighing 224. That's pretty big, dude. I'm wondering how he's going to be carrying around that extra weight. I mean, it looks like he naturally walks around about 200, so putting on about 24 pounds.
Welch's concerns reflect a common debate leading into the match. Will Jake's added weight give him the power he needs, or slow him down and compromise his agility? With Tyson renowned for his explosive speed, the added bulk could become Jake's downfall if he can't keep pace in the ring.
Hey, 3, Mikey, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Whoop.
In the build-up to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, boxing coach Robert Garcia has voiced skepticism, calling the matchup more a show than sport. While fans might be expecting a brawl, Garcia argues that what they're really paying for is a show, not a serious fight.
So it's a great event, but honestly, to me, it's just a show. It's like people paying their tickets and paying pay-per-view to watch Royal Rumble. That's just the way I see it. Look, Tyson's almost 60.
Garcia highlights Tyson's age as a critical factor, pointing out that even toward the end of his professional career, his performance was slipping. With nearly 2 decades out of the ring, Garcia argues, it's unrealistic to expect Tyson to return as the force he once was.
If we go back to his last fights when he was still a professional fighter, his last couple of performances were not very good performances. And I don't even know how long ago that was. we would have to go to BoxRec and
let me pull it up. Let's see exactly.
But it's been a while.
I want to say like the early 2000s.
Exactly. We're looking maybe 20 years ago.
After looking up Tyson's last professional fights, Garcia is reminded of how long it's been since Tyson's prime. Even in his early 2000s fights, Garcia notes, Tyson struggled against fighters he would have easily defeated in his prime, suggesting that time has taken an undeniable toll.
Let's see here. I'll get the last few fights were in 2003, 4, and 5.
Okay, exactly. So we're pushing 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
And that's 20 years. He was 20 years younger, and he didn't perform very well.
Garcia's comments tap into the skepticism of some boxing fans who wonder if Tyson, even with his legendary status, can realistically compete with the younger and athletic Jake Paul. Former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield offers a surprising perspective. Having faced Tyson himself, Holyfield knows Tyson's fighting style better than most, but rather than dismissing Jake Paul outright, he brings attention to key factors that could influence the fight. According to Holyfield, it all depends on how Jake approaches the bout and whether he respects the unique dangers Tyson brings, even at this age. For Holyfield, this isn't a simple Tyson wins or Paul wins scenario. It's about who capitalizes on the right tactics.
Do you see Mike winning or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight, you know. I tell you what, if it's cause somebody gonna tell him it's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy, he gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Yeah.
He'll jump
MC
up and get you. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I like this, and you know, I'm like, you know, but you know, the point of the matter is, do Jake Paul take a good shot? I never seen him get hit by nobody. So that's it. But you never know. Yeah. Just like Mike quit in the ring, he got tired and just quit and just sit down.
Oh man,
I'm
yeah.
done.
Because of Mike's body of work, his experience, that like he shouldn't be losing a fight like that.
But the thing is you don't get in these things if you don't believe you can win.
He hints that if Paul underestimates Tyson's ability to launch powerful, unpredictable strikes, it could end badly for him. At the same time, Holyfield doesn't ignore the reality of Tyson's age, suggesting that if Paul can withstand Tyson's shots and push the fight into later rounds, he might stand a chance.
His performances weren't very well, you know. He got beat by guys that were nobodies and shouldn't have beat him. So what makes us think that 20 years later, he's gonna be a monster like he was in his early 20s, knocking everybody out? There's no way.
Garcia admits respect for Tyson's legacy, but remains firm in his belief that this fight is more for entertainment than competition.
I think, you know, I like Mike. I'm like 10 years younger than him, and I don't think I would be able to compete against, you know, I know Paul is not the best fighter out there, or he's not, you know.
Yeah, so limited experience.
Yeah. So, but he is young and strong.
Garcia suggests that anyone expecting a serious fight might be in for a disappointment. To him, Tyson's age and the wear from his last fights indicate this is more of an exhibition than a true clash.
A 60-year-old, there's no way he could be fighting anymore. I'm telling you, 20 years ago, when he had his last fights, he wasn't performing very well then.
Joe Rogan, known for his straightforward takes on combat sports, weighed in with a balanced yet realistic view on the upcoming Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Rather than assuming one fighter has the clear advantage, Rogan considers both the potential intensity of the matchup and the risks involved.
Yeah. That it's a legit fight and they both do well and nobody gets hurt.
That would be nice. But it's probably not going to happen.
As much as Rogan wishes for a competitive yet safe fight, he points out that the reality may unfold differently. According to him, the fight will likely reveal one of two things. Either that Tyson's age is just a number, or that it's a factor Jake Paul can exploit.
It's probably going to be one of two things. It's either going to be Jake Paul's going to find out that 58-year-old Mike Tyson is still a mother, or we're going to find out that 58-year-old men are 58-year-old men no matter what they look like.
Rogan highlights the contrasting physical realities that each fighter brings to the ring, Tyson with his seasoned strength, and Paul with youthful athleticism. Rogan even uses himself as an example to illustrate how age affects performance, regardless of skill.
And Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in the prime of his life. You know, it was a real.
I mean, if you just do it to yourself, right? Take
Yeah.
You know, me at 60 versus me at 28.
Right.
Forget about it. Man.
Yeah, it's different things.
All
yeah.
over. You know?
Yeah, and also there's an accumulation of injuries.
In Rogan's view, this fight is a collision of past and present, and while Tyson's experience is unmatched, the limitations of age could impact the outcome. For Rogan, this fight could either showcase Tyson's enduring power or signal a reality check, showing that even legends face the clock. Shannon Briggs, former heavyweight champion and known for his bold insights, has added fuel to the excitement surrounding the Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. While some question if Tyson still has his signature power, Briggs has no doubt about his old friend's ability to bring intensity and skill to the ring. In fact, he believes Tyson could end the fight with a single punch.
What's your predictions then? Obviously, some people think Mike Tyson could get seriously hurt. Some people think it's only going to be an exhibition and no one's going to get hurt. Do you think Mike Tyson can come out the winner and knock Jake Paul out?
Mike Tyson can knock him out, yeah, easily. if he get caught, you know what I'm saying? That's Mike Tyson. If he punch you, he gonna knock you out. I don't care if he's 78 years old. Can Jake win? Possibly. Who knows? What if Mike break down and Jake stuff stays in there? I can't see it, but what if he does? What if he fights back and he throws a punch and hurts Mike Tyson? Wouldn't that be amazing? The whole world would be like, what the hell's going on?
For Briggs, Tyson's experience, combined with his legendary power, gives him a real shot at taking down Paul despite the age difference. As far as Briggs is concerned, Tyson's strength hasn't faded, and if Paul isn't careful, he might face the kind of KO that made Tyson a household name decades ago. Ryan Garcia, the rising star of the boxing world, has been vocal about his thoughts on the upcoming Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. As a younger fighter with a growing reputation, Garcia has seen both fighters in action and brings a unique perspective to the table. While he has been known to support his peers, in this case, he's tipping his hat to the legend, Mike Tyson.
What's your prediction for me versus Mike Tyson?
Man, my heart of hearts, I mean, it's hard for me to bet against you. You're different. I won't bet. I like Mike, so I just go for Mike because he's Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No.
It's Uncle Mike.
It is. I love the guy.
I love Mike.
I feel bad for what I have to do.
You do what you got to do, brother.
Garcia's prediction highlights his admiration for Tyson's legendary status in the sport. While he acknowledges Jake Paul's resilience and drive, Ryan believes Tyson's decades of experience and powerful legacy will ultimately give him the edge in this highly anticipated showdown. Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion known for his candidness, weighed in on the growing buzz around the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Despite the skepticism and criticism from some quarters, Fury's perspective stands out as he recognizes the magnitude of the event and the impact it will have on the boxing world. For Fury, the spectacle surrounding the fight is undeniable, and he's not shy about calling out the critics.
Anyone who don't think it's a fantastic event is jealous. Mainly people who ain't getting paid from it will be jealous, obviously, because it's not them. So they'll be probably speaking bad about it, but obviously I'm not involved in it, I'm not getting paid from it, but I can see a massive event on a large scale when I see it, and I can appreciate that. I appreciate Mike performing at his age, and I appreciate Jake performing and bringing so many eyeballs to boxing.
Fury's words underscore his acknowledgement of both Tyson and Paul's roles in generating a massive spectacle. While many criticize the fight as a money grab or gimmick, Fury emphasizes the importance of this event for boxing, particularly in terms of the attention it draws to the sport. He recognizes the value in Tyson's ability to still compete at a high level, and Paul's role in putting boxing in front of a larger audience. Jeff Fenk, the legendary Australian boxing trainer and former world champion, is known for his straightforward approach to analyzing boxing matches. As someone who has worked with elite fighters, Fenk brings a wealth of experience to his breakdown of the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Fenk doesn't hold back in his assessment, giving his take on what Tyson needs to do to secure a knockout against Paul.
Like I said, he wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't confident. Look, I have no doubt that Mike can win this in a round. Now, Mike's just got to be smart, and he doesn't want to try to engage. If you and I try to punch each other, we're a 50-50 chance who's going to land first.
Fenk emphasizes Tyson's ability to win quickly, but also warns against getting into a reckless exchange with Jake Paul. According to Fenk, Tyson's best chance comes from using his intelligence in the ring, rather than just relying on raw power in a slugfest.
And Mike's, well, I'm just saying, you give somebody else an opportunity. So Mike's got this amazing skill where he can slip side to side and make you miss and make you pay. If he does that, I mean, the fight's over. His power's not gone. He's still as strong as an ox. And so it's pretty dangerous for Jake Paul.
Fenk praises Tyson's defensive ability and sharp counterpunching skills, noting that if Tyson uses his reflexes and boxing IQ, it could quickly spell the end for Jake Paul. The trainer highlights Tyson's continued strength and power, making the fight a dangerous proposition for Paul. Buster Douglas, the man who famously defeated Mike Tyson, offers a stark warning to Paul about stepping into the ring with Tyson. Douglas doesn't mince words, predicting that Tyson's power and experience could make this the easiest win of Tyson's career. He sees little chance for Paul to emerge unscathed and doubts there'll be much of a future for Paul in boxing if things go the way he expects. Douglas stated, "It's not going to be good for Jake. I don't think there will be much of a boxing career left for Paul afterwards. I think once Mike gets rid of him, that's it for his boxing career." The best scenario for Paul is to just last the entire fight, say he went the distance with Mike Tyson. Douglas's assessment is brutally clear. He believes Tyson will overpower Paul, potentially ending his ambitions in boxing for good. Douglas's statement reinforces the intensity of the challenge Paul faces and the stakes of what could be a career-defining or ending fight. Will Tyson's legendary power and experience prove too much for Jake Paul, or will the younger, faster Paul shock the world with an upset? As the fight looms ever closer, one thing is certain: this battle is more than just a spectacle. It's a true crossroads in the sport of boxing. The entire world will be watching, and whether you're backing Tyson's ferocity or Jake's hunger, it's clear that this fight is about more than just bragging rights. It's about legacy. Let's see who will emerge victorious when the bell rings.